Hello and welcome. This is Best Foot Forward Shoes, the podcast, and this is episode 46. And today we have the international man of mystery, the greatest sneaker content creator from Barry in Wales. We have Mr. Joe Hughes, a returning guest, the man, the myth, the legend himself. He has been wowing us with some of his content on Instagram and also TikTok. If you're on TikTok, you can go check out Joe. Of course, all the links are going to be down below. We're going to have a bit of a chat. We're going to chat about some of the sneaker stuff going on with Travis Scott. We're going to chat about some of the latest pickups, some news, just a little bit of a chat. So again, thank you to everyone for joining us, whether you're watching us on YouTube or listening to us on Apple, Spotify, any of those audio platforms. I really do appreciate it. Joe, how's it going over there in Wales today, mate?
It is going well. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Yeah, the weather has taken a rather predictable turn for the worst. It's nothing we're not used to. We actually had a bit of a summer this year, so can't complain too much. But yeah, man, all going well. How's things at on your side of the world?
Well, I've just come back from 3 days of a little bit of a vacation holiday. So a little bit of a time off in Sydney, which is probably the most well-known Australian city for most people overseas. Did all the things where you go to the Harbour Bridge, the Opera House, all those sort of, I'd seen them before, but just, not with the missus. So kind of just checked all that out, posting a little bit about it on Instagram. Had some sneaker pickups there, which we'll kind of get into. But yeah, it's kind of had a. We're getting some hot weather. We're getting some. Joe's dying right now for all the audio listeners. He's forgotten how to drink water, but basically, you're talking. That's all right. You're talking about the weather taking a turn for the worst. I would also say it's taking a turn for the worst, where we're now suddenly getting hot weather. So, you're getting into your winter, dreary, that sort of thing. So, I mean, I am not enjoying the turn, that's so to speak. I wish it would last for a couple more weeks, but it is what it is, and I guess we'll kind of adjust what we wear, sneakers, etc. I actually did buy a pair of jorts, my first kind of pair of jorts, which I bought it from like a local brand. So trying to support like local kind of creators and such. But I've not really worn them yet, and I'm a little bit scared to wear them out because do I look like I'm 14 years old? But it is what. I guess that's why you grow a beard. Any tips for styling jorts?
Tips for styling jorts. To be honest with you, bro, I wear jorts and have been wearing jorts for a long time this year because the weather's been quite warm. And they kind of style themselves, to be honest with you, bro. I do some work with Route One, who are a skate shop in the UK, and they give me a lot of different like jorts, basically like super baggy jorts. And I basically live in them, man. They're really comfy. They look great. They look good with low tops. They look good with high tops, chunky, slim, whatever. I think they get kind of it's hard to get wrong with them, in my opinion. Sorry, by the way, for joking on drinking water. That was not my. I'm so clumsy, man. That's actually quite a common occurrence for me. It was a matter of time I did it on a podcast. So excuse me for that.
No stress. And with the jorts, I got them where they're basically on the knee line. It's not below, but they're a little bit baggy and flared at the bottom. So a little bit different. I'm usually like at least 3-4 centimeters above the knee. I'm also got very long legs, so I try and I don't know. I'm also don't like hot weather, so I'm trying to expose as much skin as possible. But these are like kind of raw denim style jorts, so dark indigo denim, that sort of thing. So you'll probably see them in any sort of content coming up soon, because I literally can't wear long pants for like 6 months of the year coming up. So get used to seeing my white pasty legs, as you have probably seen Joe's legs on his Instagram and TikTok. So speaking of that, how's your TikTok going? How's the Instagram going? Any great positive reactions? Any of that sort of stuff? Happy with how it's all going?
Yeah, all good, man. I am still very much enjoying it, which is the main thing, really. The TikTok, I'm now on 21,000 followers, which is nice. The followers still come through consistently, but the rate at which they're coming through has slowed down a little bit. So I don't know whether that's something I need to have a look at my content, just see what I can do to optimize that, really. But yeah, no, it's still going strong. What's nice is that the Instagram is growing really quite quickly at the minute, which is really good.
Mm.
I'm literally like, without looking at it, I think it's like I'm getting around like 500 followers a month, that kind of thing. It feels like quite a lot are coming through. So yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I've turned my notifications off on TikTok and Instagram, apart from like direct messages,
Mm.
because I've got a few videos that like still just like is constant. On Instagram, on TikTok, it's just literally like, it's just like a notification every minute, basically, or like if not more. So
Yeah.
so I'm super grateful to still be having those kind of reactions to my videos and stuff. And yeah, no, I'm really happy with how it's going. As I say, still enjoying it, still getting really cool opportunities, still getting to chat with people like yourself, which I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite bits about the content work that I do is the community that the sneaker community online, like in TikTok and Instagram. It's really, really nice. And you get to chat with some really cool people. So yeah, mate, all over it. How about you? How's things going on your side?
I mean, yeah, I've did some cool numbers on like New Balance stuff. I think I really love that sort of community, that New Balance ASICS community. I still do talk about Jordans and Nike and such, but I don't really vibe with that kind of, how do I describe it, while still being nice, like kind of the you basically take a photo of just the shoe, just the Nike shoe, and it's just that same thing over and over again, and people will like it because it's just a Nike shoe. It's just a great shoe. I don't feel like they're like following me for me and the content. Like, as in, if I was to just post that, it would just be about the shoes. And I'm trying to, I suppose, post and talk about what I like. So I'm going to talk about Saucony. I'm going to talk about ASICS. I'm going to talk about random pickups from Depop or something like that. So, those sort of things is something that I'm all about, and I'll still talk about, Nikes and Jordans. But yeah, we did a podcast recently with Sam Dotkovsky, who is a huge New Balance fan, and we kind of did like, I think the highest amount I've ever done on a podcast, which was cool. It's like 280 people watched it, which was, when you talk about an hour long podcast, that's like, that's, nearly 1,000 hours of watch time. So it's crazy. Anyway, that was fun. And yeah, just doing that sort of stuff, getting ready for having a baby, all that sort of thing. So, content will still happen, but maybe at a slower rate, all that sort of stuff. So
I want to take this opportunity to say kind of semi in person to you, congratulations, man. I know I met you when you told me, but that's really great news. When's the due date now?
It'll be like late January. So yeah, gonna be
okay. Got a bit of time.
Still got a bit of time, still preparing. But yeah, it'll happen quick, and yeah, hopefully everything goes smooth. But yeah, content will probably be a little bit slower because late nights and all that sort of stuff. But hey, just enjoying it while we're doing it now. So yeah, man, we're gonna kind of chat about some of the latest pickups which we've grabbed. I know you were talking a little bit before. You grabbed the SB95s, which is a pair that I really, really wanted but didn't get. How's that one been treating you?
Yeah, man. I've got them here actually. I'll get that for the camera. But this pair I was really, really happy to pick up. They're actually probably one of my favorite pickups this year. Like favorite releases in general. To be fair, I just love the colorway, man. I think it's super hard. I love the gum sole.
Yeah, the gum sole's great.
It's so good, man. And like the little pops of this dark pink, so nice. Extra padding on the heel makes it more comfortable, more roomy inside as well. So I went true to size and it fit absolutely perfectly. Yeah, man. I just I'm a huge fan of these, and I can't stop wearing them at the minute. So
nice.
I'm a big advocate for them. One thing I just wanted to touch on, just so you mentioned earlier about like taking photos of just the shoes and things like that. I suppose I do agree with you, because I kind of feel like they're not really contributing anything. And it's like they haven't really got an opinion or any thoughts on it. It's just like the shoes. But I suppose for us, we're kind of building up our personal brands as well,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to fault anyone for like taking photos of whatever they want. I'm just saying that's just not me. Like I'm not someone to just take the same photo over and over again of a different Jordan or a Nike shoe. I don't know. I'm not trying to, if someone really wants to do that, sure, and they get like good numbers on it, if that's what like kind of the metric is. But to me, I'm just like, if I saw my feed looking like that, I'd be like, oh, yeah, kind of don't want to see every Nike shoe that's been released this year and, anything like that. So, you know, I'm trying and sound a bit diplomatic and not hate on anyone, but you know, that's just my personal taste.
Yeah, no, me too, man. Like, and no hate from me either. But yeah, no, I think we've got different goals
Yeah,
and different ideas. That's it.
yeah, yeah. Speaking of that 95, there was another release that was kind of rumored. I don't know when the date's coming, but it's like a Michigan blue and yellow colorway, which is really cool.
Yeah,
That might be my next kind of pickup of the 95 because I think I've got like 7 95s this year. So kind of tapped out on those, unless like the SB ones, which obviously has a different tooling, different materials, different comfort, all that sort of stuff. It brings something different. You know what I mean?
yeah, 100%. And the Eric Costins on there. I think they're a
Yeah,
collab with him as well.
yeah,
Yeah, they look real nice. I'm
yeah,
a big fan of that
yeah,
yellow like
yeah,
colorway. Yeah,
yeah.
they look clean, man. I've heard. I was in Route One the other day, and the manager in there basically said that they're releasing like a capsule of clothes
Mm,
with that shoe
okay.
that kind of match it. Apparently, it's really hard. So
Mm.
he said he couldn't show me, but he
Yeah,
said
yeah.
that apparently he's seen it and it's nice. So yeah, something to bear in mind too.
Well, that's like I went into the New Balance store in Sydney, which we don't have one here in Brisbane. But the New Balance store, they just got in the stock for their Action Bronson 992, like
Okay.
the brown and orange pair. Like that's coming. I think it already released. I could have grabbed them from the Action Bronson website. They were actually pretty easy. It's just that it would have been like $150, $180 more than when they released here in Australia. So, you know, trying to save a little bit there, but he said he grabbed them and they were like superb in hand. So excited for he obviously couldn't show me because they're probably going to release in like a week, but super excited about those ones. My number one pickup this week was the Nigel Sylvester Jordan 1 Low, Better with Time. This one, man, I don't know. It's more about the story for me. I feel like I was talking to my wife about this, and I said that I feel that stories are something that everyone sort of gravitates to when it comes to sneakers. And this
Mhm.
one, being Nigel Sylvester, BMX rider, it's literally scuffed up already. It's literally meant to be worn. It's actually incredibly comfortable straight out of the box. The leather is very premium. It's got scuff marks already on the front, on the back, around the side, everywhere. So it really doesn't matter, and you're probably not even going to show wear that quickly. But yeah, picked them up at a place called Supply Store, which is like the number one Nike retailer here in Australia. And they had them just sitting there, last size, display pair, all of that great stuff. And just kind of whenever I think and wear this shoe, I'll be thinking about this trip and that kind of spontaneous moment of going into a store. So, you know, I love that sneakers can hold on to memories. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, I'm a big fan of when you can like pick up a garment or a shoe or whatever, and it like kind of ties into a time of your life. I think that's really nice. And yeah,
Yeah.
storytelling is massive, massive on shoes. I think it's a big reason why so many people hold the Jordan 4 Nigel Faster Brick by Bricks as sneaker of the
Yeah.
year, including myself. I think that's still front runner for me.
Yeah. We'll
Because of
definitely be
the story.
debating that when it comes later in the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's almost certainly,
Yeah.
almost certainly. But yeah, I think yeah, storytelling's massive, bro, and I think it can make the difference between a really great release and a kind of disappointing one.
Yeah, that's very true. Speaking of, I suppose, disappointing releases, the one that hasn't quite yet released was the Travis Scott one with Fragment, the Jordan 1 Low. It's been rumored. I've seen photos of these since like November last year. I feel like I've seen on feet reviews in like June. Like people,
Yeah,
these things have not just been backdoored, they've been front doored, they've been side doored, they've been up doored, down doored. Like these things are out in the market for around roughly $1,000. $1,500 Australian. It's crazy. Maybe even, you know, maybe more than that coming up soon. But you know, they had a rumored release of the 20th of September. Didn't happen. Now they're looking at maybe in November. Maybe it might come to Nike, and it's just like, where is the information for this coming from? And I think they're just realizing that backdooring that many amount of shoes is not very good for selling them for retail. So people were
yeah.
like, kind of already off this, even though they will instantly sell out already. And I do really want them because I didn't get the first Fragment Travis Scott one, but it's just kind of been bungled. Like, what's your kind of take on that release or lack of release?
Yeah, it's always kind of annoyed me when these kind of things happen, and it does put like a sour taste in my mouth on things because like it would be so nice, like especially with the rumors of him moving to Adidas or maybe just not continuing with Jordan. It's like, could you not just like let people have one? Like, do you know what I mean?
Mm.
I don't think that would be a bad thing if you did a release where people were actually able to get the shoe. Like, yeah, that particular model might not resell for much, but I don't think that should matter. Like, if you like, and don't just make it ugly either. I don't like when brands do that. They have like these super hyped releases, and then they'll go, all right, we'll do one for like more readily available, but they just like deliberately make it ugly. I'm like, well, please, just like give us a chance. Like, but I kind of get it. I kind of get why they do it, and like to generate hype and all blah blah blah. I get it, but yeah, as the consumer, as the sneakerhead, it's like it's kind of a bit annoying. Yeah, the release is just just generally irritating. Like from what I've heard, it's going to be the Travis Scott website exclusive, which just unless you're in America, even if you're in America, you got no chance. But especially outside of America, it's just doubly annoying. It's frustrating. Like, why can't you just do a sneakers release? Do you know what I mean? But it just, I don't know. But then saying that it's going to be super hyped, and that's maybe the reason as to why, you know?
Yeah.
So it's,
to be honest, it's more the fragment of it all to me. Like, I'm really like a big fan of what he does with his collaborations, and you see some of the stuff that he talks about. Like, he loves the storytelling, like, you know, and he absolutely puts a lot of story into his collaborations, and I think the colorway is kind of the thing that's driving it. It's like a very white sneaker. Like, if this was just another, I suppose, reverse olive, whatever, brown, white sneaker, I'd be like, nah, I don't care. Like, I'm just not going to care. But this, you know, nice clean white with the pop of blue, the cool lace options, a little thing on the little doubre on the top of the laces. Like, it's all very, it's not non-Travis Scott because he had that canary one. But I just think it's way more clean, it's less boring. I don't know, it just has something else about it, and I think that this is all souring the release, which is kind of annoying, you know. So anyway, that's why I was saying the storytelling is so good on this one. Like, it makes me appreciate the Nigel Sylvester ones so much more because they're for the people, they're made by someone who loves giving them, you know, shoes to the people, and I think that there's a reason why no one will talk about Travis Scott shoes as being like sneaker of the year, because it doesn't resonate with the everyman, so to speak, whereas this one really does. Another sneaker pickup for me was the Hall Studios Intimidation Low from Adidas. Picked them up from their website, which is obviously an Australian website. They're based out in Perth in Australia, which is very far away from me, but which is actually why they probably took like a week and a half, actually 2.5 weeks to get here. So these were pretty cool, but they are actually releasing on the Adidas website, I think, in a couple of days. So, or they might have already, and they probably will sit if you're feeling them, and you can probably get them for a little bit cheaper than you would have gotten them here in Australia with all the duties and the taxes and all that. But yeah, really cool pattern on the outsole. I got the white colorway. There's a black colorway. They had a green Friends and Family colorway, which I'm obviously not a friend or a family, so grabbed the white one, which I just feel the white one's really cool with the red pop and the laces there, the little red on the back there. If they gave us some red laces, that would be awesome. I might try and find some red laces to put in there. Like, that would be sick, or some sort of color. It's just like a really nice like blank canvas, you know. I'm just thinking about the way to shoot them as well, photography, that sort of thing. Tons of options, and really, really glad to have these.
Yeah, no, I really like them, and I messaged you about them at the time when they dropped. I also think maybe black laces could suit them as well. But
they came with a grey pair. They came with a grey pair of laces as well. But yeah, I mean, endless kind of color options as well.
Yeah. No, I'm a huge fan of them, mate. I think the little pop of red's so nice, and the white colorway is definitely my favorite colorway, to be honest. And if they're releasing on the Adidas app in the UK, I'm definitely going to be going for them because I think they're so sick, man.
Yeah,
they're really, really cool.
They're really cool, and I'm trying to think about how to shoot them. Maybe try and think of some different ways. Maybe work with this wavy pattern. It's almost I don't know if you've seen any Australian Aboriginal art and how they do their rivers, like they interpret rivers in this kind of way. It kind of reminds me of that. So maybe some sort of artwork in that way. I don't know. Trying to think about it, but yeah, I just got them today. That's cool. Any other pickups for you?
Yeah, I've got a couple more here. But yeah, just on those, I think that's really cool. Another thing as well, as I noticed that on their post and that everyone's like, oh, they stole the soul from the Yeezy 500. It's like, no,
Yeah.
Easy 500 solid, the intimidation low. Anyway,
Yes.
another pickup. I don't know if we mentioned this show actually. Maybe we have, but
Ah.
undefeated fours.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Obviously classics. I could only get a size 8, which is a size too small for me. So I'm currently
Damn.
trying to sell these at a price where I can buy my size, but
Hmm.
it's not going to last so far.
Yeah.
I've had offers, but not what I'm looking for really.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I've tried them on. They look really nice. Great for this time of year for
Yeah.
me. Into winter here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, big fan of them. I don't
Yeah.
know if you've got
Yeah.
any thoughts on that.
I feel like I've said so much about that shoe in the time since I've had them. Just awesome. Like, and we'll touch on this a little bit as well with the complex collaborators list, and they put undefeated up at 6, which is crazy. Where I think they were in like 25 last year, so they were right down the bottom, and just with this undefeated, and rightly so, I think. Just bringing back a actually incredible special colorway is just it's gonna put you on the map again, and I think they have every right to, because of just the way that this story of the shoe has gone. And no, I love my pair, and it'll definitely be up there when it comes to the like sneaker of the year kind of list. Like I think Jordan heads are kind of that one, or the brick by brick. And me, I've got like a whole bunch of other Asics or New Balance pairs that I'm considering, putting in the list. So again, trying to spread the love.
Yeah, for sure, mate.
Yeah.
For sure. No, I agree. I agree with everything you said there, basically. And then only other two that I've got, which I'm not sure if I'm keeping, but I've got a really nice pair of Shots Ride 2s, kind of the Darth Vader colorway.
Yes.
Which
Darth Maul colorway.
Yeah, you got it. So yeah, fan of them. Got them in for some content, and this pair as well, which I think is actually such an underrated pair of 95s.
Yeah.
This kind of camo colorway, little pops of orange on there. Perfect for winter. Literally so clean. I really like these.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't seen anyone talking about them, but I'm a huge fan of these. I'm a sucker for camo, I will say. So that's probably why I like them so much. But
yeah, they were the consolation prize for the Yu-Gi-Ohs, because we didn't get any releases of the Yu-Gi-Ohs, like nothing here in Australia, absolutely nothing. And then those ones, sorry, the camo ones, and also there was like a blue camo, and they came out at the exact same day as the Yu-Gi-Oh pair, and I was like, oh, cool. So we get that, and you guys get the Yu-Gi-Ohs. Like, that's nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. But from what I heard, like no one really got them. Like, it was such a limited release.
Yeah, if it makes you feel any bad, no, we didn't have a chance either.
yeah, you're kind of fighting not only sneakerheads but Yu-Gi-Oh fans. Like, people were also in a similar lane of like rarefied collecting. You're trying to go up against them as well. Yeah, you're not really gonna get much of a chance with that. But no, that's going to be on some people's sneaker of the year. Like that was an epic collaboration with the way they did that. I just wish I had a chance at them.
Yeah. No, they executed it very well, to be fair. The details were really nice, and they could have half-assed it, but they didn't, which I always appreciate.
Yeah, I actually preferred the grey pair, to be honest. I actually really like that one. Just because of I suppose the manga element of it. I don't know, it just kind of the way they took the cartoon and put it onto a shoe was really cool. And yeah, but both of them were great. Moving on to my last pickup, which was a resale pickup. Don't usually do resell, but hey, sometimes low bids work. When I say low, it was definitely over retail. Let me say that. It was definitely over retail, but it was the 992 Joe Fresh Goods. Not Joe Fresh Goods, bloody hell. The Kith pair, the Osaka exclusive pair, which I thought about the 991 V2, but I was like, I don't have that many 992s. I only got a couple. So I was like, I'm going to pick these ones up. Going to shoot some content with them as well. And of course, and just hold on to them, because they're probably one of my favorite 992s to release this year as well. And no, these are sick. I know you're not like huge into like the made in USA line of like New Balance stuff, but what's your kind of thoughts on these ones?
Yeah, I really like the pastel colors on them, man. They're nice. They're clean. The 9 series, I do like, the made in USA stuff. It's nice. I think the main thing that puts me off them is the price point. Obviously, they come in quite high.
Yeah.
I get that it's quality though, so I do understand that. But that's the only reason I haven't. I've always wanted a pair of grey 992s.
Yeah.
Like New Balance grey. But yeah, just never never really like had the
Mm.
£200 spare or over whatever it is to.
That's the hard thing is like if you spent your money on that, you couldn't probably get one of the 1,000 other shoes that's coming out in the next
Yeah,
couple of weeks. So it's like
exactly.
you got to sometimes the reach backs stop you from getting any sort of new ones, which is I suppose
Yeah,
the struggle, especially if you're like
yeah,
making content about that sort of stuff and not just collecting, but you're also like trying to think making content with it. Will that do numbers? Like, will that do,
yeah,
I know it's kind of a weird way of thinking about it for people who are just collectors, but yeah, I mean, some people they collect shoes, and I'm like, you need to showcase your collection. Like, you pick
yeah,
up everything and you don't show it. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
I know that's not everyone's mindset, but for me, I'm just like, man, I'd love to take your shoes and
yeah,
photograph them.
yeah, yeah. No, I feel that for sure, man.
Yeah. So those are my pickups. Those are your pickups. There's another couple of pairs that are coming out in a few weeks. We've already talked about the Travis Scott pair. Is there anything in the next couple of weeks that you're like, or even months, end of the year, that you're kind of like, I have to have them?
I think right now for me, off the top of my head, there's one pair coming up that I really, really want, and that's the Chicago one lows.
Yeah, the big
Yeah,
swoosh.
that with the big old swoosh,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Yeah, that swoosh is looking tasty.
yeah,
So yeah, I really, really want them because I no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't hit on the lost and founds.
yeah,
So and I didn't hit on the bread 85 ones
yeah,
at the start of this year.
yeah.
So I'm just like, right, this better be my time. I'd really like a pair of. I haven't got any one lows in my collection at the minute. I sold them all
Okay.
basically. So I'd really like to have that pair. The Chicago colorway is my favorite, pretty much colorway ever.
Yeah,
And definitely Jordan 1 colorway. So I'd really like to have a pair of Chicago 1 lows with that big old swoosh. So yeah,
yeah.
that's a must for me. But yeah, outside of that, I'm kind of bled dry. How about you?
Yeah, if you can't get the Travis Scott one, maybe try and get that one. Like that's
Yeah,
looks like it might be a little bit easy to get, but still an original kind of colorway on a really, I wouldn't say hot model, but like it's had some good models this year. Speaking
yeah,
of that and the Travis Scott, so
yeah,
we've those are pretty cool. I think the one that's kind of speaking to me, as I sort of spoke about it before, was the Action Bronson 992s. There's that
mm,
orange and brown, and then there's also like a pink colorway, which is awesome. I 992 of course is awesome, one of my favorite models. But again, the thing is the price point is high, and then it's also a collaboration, so it might be a little bit even more. Yeah, have to think about that, and that's the reason why I didn't like instantly cop when it came up on his website. So trying to
mm,
think of the long term, but hey, I'd love to take photos of it again. It's like an awesome shoe to make a video about, that sort of thing, that content lens, but also for a collection. So you got to kind of balance the two out, if you know what I mean. That's
yeah,
trying to weigh up whether or not it'll help your channel or your Instagram or something like that, or TikTok. But also you're like, oh, I really want it just to wear and for collection. And it's kind of the dilemma that we've kind of faced. Does that kind of speak to you at all when you're picking up shoes?
yeah, for sure, man. To be fair, I tend to find like if I'm like particularly interested in a pair of shoes, usually because most other people want it as well. So I tend to be all right in that sense, but it's definitely something that crosses my mind. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of, I suppose, thinking about it from a also like reviewing perspective. Like I did like a whole thing about the Adidas Climacool, just wearing them for like a week, and I was like, I just want to test these out, just see how they go, because I had a lot of people asking like, what's the comfort like, how's the fit like, and I was like, I didn't really see anyone doing a like full wear test, so that sort of thing was pretty fun to do. That's actually a really great model, by the way. Like, I have been very surprised how many Adidas shoes I've picked up this year and really loved. The Intimidation Low, the Climacool, the Evo SL. Like, Adidas has somehow become one of my favorite brands of the year so far, which I definitely
Yeah.
didn't expect coming into this year. Like, it was not on my radar at all. Yeah,
It's it's been nice to see Adidas kind of get their mojo back a bit. I
yeah,
feel like since the Yeezy situation and they
mm,
parted ways with Ye, they kind of have been a bit lost.
Mm.
I don't know if you agree with that, but I feel like they were a bit like, oh God, we don't know what to do now because they relied so heavily on it.
Yeah.
Um, and now it seems like they've recovered nicely, which is really good. You know, they had
Mm.
obviously the Santa hype and
Yeah, yeah.
the low. I actually picked up a pair of low profile handball specials as well.
Mm.
A nice kind
Nice.
of forest looking pair, which I really enjoy, to be fair. But like in terms of like new models and like new innovations and things like that,
Mm.
yeah, it didn't seem like they knew what they were doing for a while, but it seems like now they're
Yeah.
nailing it, which is nice. Pleased to
Mm-hmm.
see.
They were sticking to those retros a lot, like the Sambas, the Gazelles,
Yeah,
Wales Bonner pairs.
yeah,
that sort of vibe was kind of where they were headed for a long time in 2023. I want to say maybe late 2022, and then this year they've I suppose kind of fully put the Yeezy thing behind them, which is nice, and they can kind of move on and continue to try and push out other collaborators, other models, doing things with Clot like Edison Chen,
yeah.
doing some with stuff with his brand. Like all of those are really cool. I suppose that's might be a good segue to perhaps chat about some of the highs and lows that you've been seeing on that sneaker collaborator list. I kind of watched the whole thing. Not watched. I read the whole article, and I was like, man, I got some opinions. So at the moment, I probably haven't posted it, but I'm going to make a video about it, just chatting about it because it was just like I had so many thoughts about it. I guess my main take. I suppose we can go through the list while I get that up. Do you have any sort of initial thoughts about that?
I definitely had thoughts. I'll probably have to jog my memory on what order they put it all in. But I did like I remember like commenting on it, like, what do you mean? Why did we put this person first? Not first, but before this person.
Yeah.
When you go through the list, I'll be able to tell you what my thought was. So I can't quite remember it right now.
Well,
But yeah, it was.
they had Edison Chen at 25, which I feel is okay. It's kind of the spot where I feel like he kind of belongs on
Yeah,
the list, but not anywhere near the top, which is fine.
yeah,
And then I think they had 24, Tyler the Creator. Fine. I feel like that's okay. It's probably more for his like fashion stuff because Converse not really moving the needle. I don't have a problem with that. And then we had like J Tips at 23. I was like, what? What are you on about? Like, what are you on about? This is ridiculous. My man, like, he's released one of the best sneakers of the entire year, and he moves down a spot. Like, what? Like, what the? Anyway, I was like a bit annoyed about that. I think the next one we had was the Patter at 22. Fine with that, no problems. Like, do you have any issues with Patter being on there? I know they haven't done a huge amount, but they've done stuff.
yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think what they did this year. Pata.
The DNA,
I know. Is that released yet?
not really, no. But that's kind of
Yeah.
been on the. But yeah, nothing really, to be honest.
The thing is, though, power ranking. I think if it depends on the angle. Are they looking at like how good were the collaborations of this brand this year, or are they
Yeah,
saying how much influence does this brand have in it when it comes to a collaboration this year? Because I feel like Pata, if they
yeah.
collaborated on anything other than a TN8, would definitely move the needle.
I think it's just a
Personally.
legacy thing. Yeah, it's just like
The 90s, bro. The 90s as well, actually. That was this year, wasn't it? The
was
MX
it?
90
No, that
released.
the MX. Oh, sorry. Yes. How did I forget that? Yeah, the 4-pack they had. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
I forgot about them. But that kind of shows how big this year's been that you forgot about an MX-90 from
Yeah.
Pata. But
Right.
that was okay. I'm okay. Like even forgetting that, I was like, yeah, it's okay. Like it's a
Yeah.
legacy spot, I think.
Yeah.
You know.
I just think that like I've got the list up myself here, and most of these people I'm like I feel like generate more hype than, but maybe that's just. But
Yeah.
yeah,
The
we'll
one at
move on.
21 was terrible. Tom Sachs. I'm sorry.
Mm.
The Marziard 3 is one of the most overhyped shoes in existence. It is
I'm gonna be
so ugly. I'm sorry.
I've never understood the Mars Yard
Yeah.
thing. I don't get it.
No.
Literally, I don't think it looks good. It seems like Tom Sachs is a bit of a knobhead,
Yeah.
and like, don't get why Nike is still
Yeah.
working with him, and I
Yeah.
don't get why people are even interested in the shoe. It seems like hype for the sake of hype.
It's like a cult. It's like I don't get it. it's like I don't get it unless you're in it, and I don't really want to be in it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I had no thought about joining the ISRU camp program that they did, like the online thing where you got to like do things and get points, and then you can buy the shoe. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I mean, maybe if I did it and you got it for free, if you got like
Yeah.
good amount of points, sure. But
Yeah.
no, I'm like, yeah, and the price that they are, I think they were like $370 Australian, which is
Mm.
bonkers. Like, I'm sorry, it's just not worth it for like a mesh runner, basically. And yeah, I mean, I was a big fan of the general purpose shoe. Like, I've literally got them.
Yeah.
I've literally got a pair like right here, but
Yeah.
it's just it didn't move me as much. And this Mars Yard thing was just, I don't know, incredibly overhyped for the sake of being
No,
hyped. So maybe put him
yeah.
at 25, but 21, I don't know.
No, I agree, mate. And like above, like pattern, like makes no sense to me.
Yeah,
Like the general purpose shoe, I like the idea behind it, like the whole message, like, oh, what you do is more interesting than your shoes, like that.
yeah,
That's cool.
yeah,
But like, mate, everything else,
yeah.
I don't get personally.
The
Um,
the one that spots out. Sorry, did anything else kind of jump out to you there?
I'm just looking at the list now, mate.
Yeah,
Do you mind if I move on to number 20?
that's all good. Go ahead.
Mate, ASAP Rocky is on here, and that's fine.
Yeah,
What has he done? He's done some collaborations with Puma,
yeah.
which I like, but I've not seen anyone speaking about, and I've not seen anyone posting about, and I've not seen anyone wear.
Well,
So
I don't think he's the reason why Puma is sort of getting bigger now in the streetwear sneakerhead scene. It's more,
yeah,
I feel like it's their general release inline stuff, the Mostro, the stuff they've done like on the Puma Palermo, which I see everywhere. See, actually on
yeah,
the trip to Sydney, I saw the Palermo everywhere. Like
really,
so many pairs of Pumas everywhere. Like the low profile sneaker trend here in Australia is not dead. Tell you what, there's
yeah,
so many people wearing them. Sambas,
well,
Spezials. And in the UK, it's just like their general everyday shoe. People wear them. Like
mhm.
it's still huge. But yeah, I haven't seen ASAP Rocky shoes hit. Like we can keep him at 20. I don't really
Yeah,
mind. I'm not mad at that. But I think number 19 was Pharrell. Like
mm,
Pharrell, cool. Hasn't really done that much before the jellyfish, so I suppose the jellyfish is the thing that made him jump all the way up to 19 from being unranked from the
mm.
previous year. So, that's cool. I it's a great shoe, and I think it deserves that sort of hype. What do you think about that spot and the jellyfish? I guess.
So I haven't had it in hand, to be fair, so I can't really comment. But from seeing it online, it doesn't seem like my kind of thing.
I feel like they could
It's
suit you pretty well. Like to be honest.
Yeah, they just don't appeal to me. I don't know why. I don't know if they're a bit Balenciaga-y, and I don't really rate like, that kind of stuff. It's just like that kind of. It looks very kind of luxury fashion brandy, which I'm not really into. Much more of like a street rap vibe. But, yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like if I had them in hand and tried them on, and they were comfy, fine. The price point is also a bit like.
It's very high.
So I'm like, I wasn't that interested in trying them out anyway, but maybe I would have if they weren't so expensive. But now that they are so expensive, I'm just like, nah.
Yeah, yeah. It's. I've heard from people who've had them in hand that they're definitely not as big and chunky as like the Balenciaga pairs. Like they're definitely not that big. They're a bit more streamlined, but yes, they're still chunky and big. So
Yeah,
I think they're surprisingly somewhat slim. I think people were put off by seeing Pharrell wear them, but he's a pretty slim guy and skinny legs. So
yeah,
if someone like yourself, you got some girth, trying to put that nicely on, you could pull them off. That's what I'm saying. That
yeah,
sort of thing. I'd be keen for a different kind of colorway. I love that. What's the one? The grey pair. There's like a grey pair that's coming out. So no, I love that one. But I'll quickly move on to 18, which is Teddy Santis. Again, huge New Balance guy. So love everything Teddy Santis does with the Made in USA line. But I think they're putting him down because ALD, Amelie Ondor, has not been that big. The guys on your hat right now have not really done that much this year, which is,
yeah,
I think that's fine. It just depends. Do they want to be that huge streetwear brand, or are they happy being, something that if you know, you know?
yeah, yeah. No, I agree with that, mate. To be honest, yeah,
I mean, I think that's a good spot for them, but I don't think it discounts anything that Teddy Santis does with like New Balance. We just spoke about number 17, Wales Bonner, kind of moved down again, hasn't really done a huge amount, but kind of deserves to still stay on the list. James Whitner's there at 16, Armor Meniere, Whitaker Group. I think Armand Meunier did one of the best 95s this year, if not. Actually, they did 2 this year, I think, and 3 in the last 2 years. So I love that pair. I suppose it's a bit low, but hey, it's not my list, so I think.
Yeah, that's it.
But number 15, Supreme. Thoughts?
I think it's wild that Jound are higher than Supreme, as in ahead of
Yeah.
Supreme. Personally, I think
Yeah.
that Supreme, whether we like to admit it or not, still have massive hype behind them. Do you know what I mean? Like it just does. And like if they release
Yeah.
a solid shoe, then it's gonna sell out. You know what I mean? Whereas like for me, Jound, yeah, it'll sell out, but that's probably because they got like no pairs of it. But if you look at what you're doing, it's not that interesting at all. It's like so boring. And I don't think I've never seen anyone be like, oh yeah, that Jound pair I really, really want. It's just they want it because they want it, because it's going to be limited. But like no one goes, oh yeah, that colorway that's the same as the general release but has Jound written on it. I really need that. You know what I mean?
I mean, I can definitely see, but there will be people who defend it, be like, but that is Jound, and I'll be like, yeah, but it doesn't feel like you're moving in any direction. It just feels very stagnant, and I think that kind of reflects what they've done with the list, where they've basically all they've done is move down 2 spots, so they've basically stayed exactly where they were last time. So, you know, it's kind of the model of consistency, I suppose. But number 13 is Awake, Jordan 5s. Probably the best Jordan 5 of the year, a collab Jordan 5 of the year. I didn't have any. I'm not a 5s guy, so didn't really have any interest. But I do like that pair, and I like what they did with the rollout.
Yeah.
Did you try and get that pair? Because I feel like that kind of suits you.
Yeah, nah, bro. I'm not a huge 5 guy either. To be honest, the black metallic 5s are probably my favorite colorway. But for the purposes of a power ranking, people seem to really like the Awake 5s, the pink pair especially, and the black pair, but especially the pink pair, which I understand was more limited. But I rate them, man. They're nice, like you say. I kind of feel the same as you, bro. I'm like, yeah, like I like them and I can appreciate them, but like I didn't go for them, and I wasn't like, oh, I really need them. So
yeah. It's just not. I've got so many other pairs of Jordans, 1s, 4s, 3s, even 11s. Like I just don't. I don't have a space for another Jordan. Yeah, it's just and then the biggest one, which I had the biggest problem with, was Action Bronson at 12. Like what are we doing? Like in that space from last year to this year, he's done some of the best colorways of any pairs, let alone just New Balance, and he's got great ones coming out. And I think it's just ridiculous that they put him not even in the top 10. Like insane, the stuff that he's done. No one else has done what he's done in terms of like New Balance, in terms of combining performance, colors. Like it's just, how do you not put him up in the top 10? And you dropped him down a spot. It's just I don't know, just insane. I can't deal with it. You know.
Yeah, to be honest, I completely agree, mate. I think that's that seems weird to me. I feel like, for example, looking at the list further down, Lil Yachty at 10.
Don't even get me started. Lil Yachty does not deserve even to be on the list. I'm sorry.
No.
2 Air Force Ones. 2 Air Force Ones.
Yeah. One was a Bape rip-off, and the other one was really boring. So it's like...
Bape rip-off.
So weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it deserves to be... He doesn't deserve to be anywhere on it. Like, yeah, sure, put Action Bronson at 10 and put Yachty at 12. That would be okay, but still, he doesn't really deserve to be on there. I think you jumped one, which was the cactus plant flea market. I don't really have any thoughts about that. Sure, it's just, it kind of speaks to, I suppose, the people who write the list. They're very Nike, Jordan heavy, and it feels like the people who are a bit further down on the list, like Saucony, like, you know, people who do stuff with New Balance, like Action Bronson, are just like not even on their, not that they're not on their radar, they're just not very high on their radar. So, and then you can kind of move along to number 9, which is Joe Freshgoods. Again, New Balance released one of the best shoes of the entire year. Had one of the coolest stories of the New Balance 2000 being given to people at Paris Fashion Week. Just no box, just here you go. There it is. Yeah. Like speaking to some of the people who got those pairs, they're like, that was one of the coolest things they'd ever seen. And I was like, how do you not have him for the girth of, you know, the weight of his sneaker history should weigh him higher up on the list than 9. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like Do
No,
you
I
have
agree.
any thoughts on that listing?
Yeah, no, I just completely agree, bro. I think Joe Freshgoods, like you say, is just like consistently really, really, really just puts out incredible shoes. And like you say, that the stuff he does, like a Fashion Week, where with the was it the 2000s, like he just like makes moments. And yeah, I agree. I think he should be definitely higher up than that. And
Yeah.
there's someone further down, which I'm going to get to in a minute. But
The number 8 was Union. Huge jump from last year, 15. They've done a couple of shoes. This, main one, of course, being the Jordan 1, the Chicago Shadow. Cool. I think a lot of people have kind of forgotten about that shoe a little bit. Had a huge amount of hype at the start of the year. A lot of people have kind of forgotten about it, or even sold off pairs because the resale on those is very low comparatively to the other pairs. I'm okay with it being there. It was fine. Any thoughts on that one?
I kind of feel like with Union, this is harsh maybe, but their Chicago ones were great, but I don't think they've done anything else that
No.
good. Like, do you know what I mean?
No.
Like, that was even then was basically doing an older release. When they had the black toes and the storm blue version,
Yeah.
they kind of did that again. Whereas everything else they've released basically since the fours has been not amazing, in my opinion. Like, I hated the woven monstrosities they released. I didn't like that personally.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I just
don't know,
think it's a
man.
legacy thing. I think because they were at
Yeah,
15 last year and they barely did anything the year that year. And now
yeah,
they've released a hype Jordan 1, so they bumped them up to 6th spot. So 8th spot. So it kind of is a legacy thing.
it's definitely a legacy thing, and it's because there's only been one good release from them this year. So.
Yeah. So, and then you got at 7, Salehi Bembry, one of my favorites. Not only New Balance, Puma, did the creative director for basketball at Puma. He's done the 1000, which is just sitting over there. I'm not going to grab it right now, but I love that shoe. Got a bunch of content coming on that one. I love the colorway. Some people hate it, but I'm all about that sort of loud, big colors. That one, I'm fine with Salehi being there. I think he deserves it. Top 10.
Yeah.
Number 6, undefeated. We kind of said it before. It's hard to argue with them being up there that high with what they did this year. The amount of effort they put into that release, it's like it should be rewarded,
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, absolute classic. And yeah, I agree.
And 5, Cortez. Yeah, cool. The Honey Blacks were pretty cool. I picked up those as well. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Top 5, like that's pretty high, but it is what it is. Again, legacy. They were at 15 last year, so kind of a similar sort of thing to Union. They would push them up because they did a big release, but they would have been on the list anyway, just from what they've done in the past. Number 4, Ronnie Feig, Kith. I'll hold my thoughts off. I want to ask you what you think about that one.
I rate Ronnie Feig. Is it Feig or Feig? I don't know.
I think it's Feig. I'm pretty sure it's Feig.
Okay, Ronnie Feig. I rate what he does, and quite often when I see him like teasing shoes and stuff, I am a fan. Whether other people in the top 10, that's the thing, isn't it? It's like I would reshuffle the whole thing personally. Whether other people in the top 10 deserve to be higher than him, potentially.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. He was at 2 last year, so fairly similar. But you look at some of the other people who have not released maybe 1, 2, 3 shoes in the year. He's done so many, like in terms of the volume he's put out he's like a volume shooter in basketball. Like he just shoots. He hasn't seen a shoe he doesn't like. They've done so many pairs, not only with Asics, New Balance, Kith, Adidas, like pairs like that. It's just he just pumps them out. So I can respect the hustle. He's obviously got a huge team behind him. Kith is a huge brand now, but pretty cool. Number 3, Bad Bunny. I think that's pretty deserved, to be honest.
Do you? I don't. I'm being honest, bro. I really don't think he should be even like top 5, maybe 10. Like, I just like the shoes he releases are nice and that, but I never see any storytelling about them. I never no one really knows why he designs them the way he does. like there's a certain element of hype to it, but I think like when you compare it to Courtiz, Ronnie Feig, undefeated, Salehi Bembury, like Joe Freshgoods, I think they all deserve to be higher than them.
Okay.
They deserve to be higher than Lil Yachty, but
Well,
yeah,
oh,
Bad Bunny.
I'm not a Bad Bunny stan. I'm not like gonna super defend him, but he does have a great connection to community for Puerto Rico. Like he really stands up for his and some of the shoes are inspired by his homeland. Like I suppose the green one of that gazelle pack is part of the nature of the jungle of Puerto Rico. The blue one, which he had like a couple of years ago or last year, was all about the like blue cobblestones in his home city. Like he definitely has elements of storytelling, and he talks about that sort of stuff. So,
To be fair,
so
part of the problem might be that I just haven't seen the storytelling.
yeah, I mean, there it is out there.
Yeah.
I feel like it's okay. I'm okay with him being at 3. He could even
Yeah.
be a little bit higher if, in some people's lists. Like, especially if you're an
Yeah.
Adidas, if you're a hardcore Adidas, you probably would be rating him a lot higher. So,
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. For me, I would just like he wouldn't be top 5 for me personally.
fair enough. Well, there's really only 2 that we haven't spoken about that people might be following along. I mean, if you haven't seen the list, you could probably pull it up right now and spoil it. But hey, Nigel Sylvester is number 2 and Travis Scott is number 1. I feel like these 2 could interchange, and I would be a lot more happy with it because Travis Scott at number 1 still is not okay to me. I think that's too much of a legacy pick. They literally said at the article they started from 2 down. Like they already had their number 1 picked before they even wrote the article. And I was like, that's not the way to write your article. Anyway,
Yeah.
Travis Scott has not done, he has released shoes. He's done a lot of shoes, but have they been good? I don't feel so, you know?
No.
Whereas Nigel Sylvester has 2 of the best shoes of the entire year.
Mm-hmm.
How is he not number
agree.
1?
I agree. And he's doing something different, and he's storytelling really well and community driven as well. Seems to really care a lot about it. Kind of get the vibe from Travis Scott. He doesn't really give a fuck anymore.
Yeah,
basically.
no, he doesn't. No.
And yeah, man, I just feel like the releases were better for the Nigel Sylvesters. I feel like Travis Scott, unless it's a Jordan 1 low with a reverse swoosh, no one really cares anyway.
Yeah.
And so it's just very much relying on the hype of the Jordan 1 low, which is fine, I guess. But yeah, I do agree that maybe they should be swapped around there. But then there is a case we made. Obviously, like the Jordan 1 low hype for Travis Scott is still like super high. So
yeah, I mean, you go around, like I just said, I was in Sydney, and there was a ton of people wearing Travis Scott shoes. Like I won't deny that. Like there was a bunch of people again, like lows, the Travis One lows, everywhere. It's like it's still culturally relevant. I just think sneakerheads kind of move at a different pace from the general public, and I think a lot of us are just over it a little bit, you know. So we'll see what I suppose people think about that. But there's a couple that I think should have been on the list that weren't on the list. But do you have any that you kind of are like glaring omissions to you?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay.
Who did you have in mind?
Well, the Unheard Of brand, the Grandma's Couch and the Piggy Runners from Adidas. It's a brand out of Cincinnati that does awesome stuff. I can send you a bunch of stuff about that. But they did some really cool activations, awesome storytelling around their shoes. I know they're a bit small, but they could have been in 25, and I think that would have made a huge difference, giving them the complex bump, you know, that sort of thing. Another one, maybe Vandy the Pink, probably could have been on there, maybe in the 20s. I think the way they released those Asics pairs were pretty cool. I suppose they were doing People, so I guess you couldn't put End on there, but I think End's done so many cool shoes this year.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a couple, and then probably just do a bit of shuffling with Action Bronson, J Tips, those sort of people, push them up higher. So, you know, but I think the whole point is that it's meant to cause a bit of discussion like this has. I hope people who are listening to it have kind of enjoyed our takes, so to speak. I suppose that's why you come and listen to myself and Joe talk. So giving our takes and all that sort of stuff and chatting about, you know, what we're passionate about, which is sneakers. So again, that was kind of a fun sort of list. And I think that I hope that they keep doing them. I hope they don't see like, oh, people hate these, that no one likes them. It's like, but people like them. It gets people talking, you know. It's fun.
100%. It engages people for sure.
Yeah, and they've just done another episode of their new lineup of the sneakers podcast they've done. Again, this is a very small sneakers podcast, which I'm very happy that people actually listen to me. But the biggest one probably overall is the Complex Sneakers podcast. And they've just done one with a new host called Obscure Vandal. It's like what's his actual name? Sorry, Mark Camargo is his actual name. He's like how do I describe him? He's done a lot of work in terms of being a brand ambassador. He'd done a bunch of clothing lines and stuff, and they brought him on to kind of replace Brendan Dunn. So I won't bore you with the whole story, but people go check that one out. They'll understand what I'm talking about. I guess they broke it down on that podcast, and he had some opinions that I liked. That's kind of what prompted me to talk to you about this one, because, you know, I think your opinion are somewhat aligned to mine, but I'm glad that you had some other areas that you didn't quite know that you could maybe learn from, and hopefully I can kind of, you know, you had some takes that I was like, okay, I can learn from that too. It's like the whole point of sneakers is to just be learning from people and not try and immediately shut down someone's opinion because they don't automatically agree with you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's it's been a good couple of weeks. I actually had a couple of weeks off of making the podcast. So last guest we had was Seth Eaton, who's awesome. He was great. He chatted, you know, about his content creation journey, and hopefully we'll have him back on the podcast. And it was awesome to have you, Joe, again on the podcast for I think the third time now. Third time.
Yeah.
What can, I suppose, any viewers, listeners can expect from you in the next couple of weeks, months, end of the year? Are you going to do another podcast of your podcast? I'd love to see that.
Yeah. I absolutely, it's on the radar for sure. So for those that don't know, I did start my own podcast a little while ago. I came at a bit of an awkward time because I immediately went on holiday for a long time after it. So I kind of came back and just haven't got around to recording episode 2. I'm looking for sponsors for that to help cover the cost of it, because we go to like a full-on studio and everything. So look out for that. That is going to be coming at some point. Not sure when. But yeah, I'd love to get a guest on for that as well. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, man, just from me, just more sneaker streetwear content, all that kind of good stuff. Do you know what I mean? Styling tips. More of my face. I'm trying to kind of get my face a bit more as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, just kind of trying to be everywhere all at once, basically. But yeah, man, the usual good stuff, you know.
I'd love to see you do a little bit more photography, like just try your hand, kind of be a little bit more creative. Like, you know, you could, I reckon you've got so many shoes that you could take cool photos of and people would appreciate it, even if it's not, you know, like, not saying it's not amazing, but, you know, if you're trying to start something new, people will always appreciate a new effort, you know. I reckon it'd be cool. So I reckon you should give that a shot.
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to be a bit more experimental with what I do. So yeah, 100%.
Even just your phone. Like, phones are great now. Cameras, phones, they're awesome. Like, set it to portrait mode, maybe put some settings on it, blur mode, all that sort of stuff. Like, there's so many cool things. That's what I would recommend if anyone's worried about, you know, failing when it comes to making content. Just do it. That's what I would say. You know, I'm sure you might echo that.
Yeah, 100%. Practice makes perfect, and it's a learning curve for everyone, and we're all still learning as we go, no matter how big you get. So the only way to learning to get better is to do it. So yeah, like you said, just do it. Yeah,
well, we'll be seeing some more sneaker photography on Joe's Instagram in the coming weeks, months, and we'll see his latest podcast. Again, you can check out his Instagram and TikTok in the description below. So again, thank you so much to everybody for watching. I really do appreciate it, and we'll see you again next week. Have a good day.